This video will review how to complete the physical activity and micronutrient intake assignment. This table should be filled out for the entire week of activities that you participate in. The instructions tell you that if you do not exercise, so structured exercise, go to the gym, you don't consistently go on long walks, lift weights, then you should enter activities of daily living. So that means your walking steps you can include. You walk around all day. If you have an app on your phone that tracks your steps, you can do that. You can also include activities like cleaning, laundry, lifting. Maybe your work requires some manual labor. It should be either exercise, or if you tell me I don't exercise, then it should be your walking steps or any other activities that you do. So notice the example. It says go to the gym. That doesn't tell me what you do at the gym. So you could do anything. You take a Pilates class. You can use the cardio machines. I don't know what you do, so be specific. And so the example includes 30 minutes treadmill, 8 sets of arm workout using weights, and then I include the number of minutes. And then what you'll learn is that activities are either cardio, strength, or flexible. In order for you to meet the dietary guidelines for all Americans, we suggest that a person exercises at least 150 minutes of moderate activity, so moderate intensity, and includes all 3 types of exercise. So you include the cardio, the strength, and the flexibility. So this table, you will be categorizing the exercises that you do, whether they're aerobic, strength, or flexibility. Some exercises are both. Pilates is a really good example of flexibility and strength. So you will have to determine which type of exercise the activity you did would be categorized. Give you a hint, walking is cardio. Okay, so once you fill it out for an entire week, you just fill it out on this table. There's nowhere to put it. You're going to enter the or add up the total number of minutes of activity. Remember, if you didn't exercise, don't count laundry as your minutes of activity because it's not going to increase your heart rate so that you're at a moderate intensity level. So that's very light, and you could maybe put a line like maybe 2 days a week you were exercising at the gym, you did a class, you went on a run, but the rest of the time you did not. So you can maybe categorize it if you want to, like put a line that says, I'll show you an example. So let's say twice a week I run for 30 minutes, then I'm going to put 60 minutes a moderate, and maybe my other activities were just, lifting. I went to Costco, that kind of stuff. You can put 45 minutes of light if you want. So the next part will ask you to use Chronometer again. So you're going to log back in and you are going to look at that table and enter activities that you did, how many minutes you did it, and then fill in the calories expended. So I am going to put from Chronometer. So how do you do that on Chronometer? We're going to go to Chronometer. Okay, so we're in Chronometer and we're going to select a date. You can do all 4 on the same day. So I already did a couple of examples. And when you add in an exercise, you're just going to use the exercise, not the food. So you're using the food for our food diaries, but now you can use the exercise option. For instance, today I've been working on this class, probably for the last 2 hours. So I could write in desk work, and I'm not going to categorize it. It's not a food. Very light for 2 hours, which is 120 minutes, and I'm going to add it. to the diary. I've already entered walking at a moderate pace for 35 minutes, took the puppy for a walk today, treadmill for 45 minutes. You can browse all and look up different categories. If you did not exercise and so you're writing some household activities, I also did some cleaning. I had to move furniture and vacuum and mop. That took me about probably 2 hours. So I can add that. Oh, it went under breakfast, but it doesn't matter. There are the minutes. In this column, you'll see the calories that were burned doing that activity. So you're just going to jot those down in the table. You'll put those in this table. Calories expended. Then you're going to answer questions about your physical activity, determining whether or not are you meeting the recommendations. That means both criteria have to be met. The number of minutes, actually there's three. Number of minutes, the intensity, and the type of activity. And then the next part will ask you about your micronutrients and water. Very similar to what you did in macronutrient analysis, you're going to do here, which is, for example, sodium. What was your average sodium intake? Remember to always include units. I'm going to go to that nutrient averages, the Excel sheet that you've already been graded on, and you're going to look up, for example, sodium. This is the table. It doesn't have data populated. So sodium in milligrams, and you're going to type that here. And then it asks, list 3 foods and their sodium content that contributed to your sodium intake. 1 food from each day you tracked. Remember in Chronometer, your food diaries are going to have foods when you hover over the nutrient. So here I can go to the first day and I see a Cinnabon and it provided 1,140 milligrams. So I would write that. Okay, then I would go to my second day and I would hover over it and it says my bean burrito with cheese had 825 and a half, 0.5 milligrams of sodium. And then you would do it on the third day, the same 3 days that we've been using for the entire project. You will still use those days for this assignment as well. Then you'll do the same thing. What was your percent for vitamin D? So percent of goal or DRI, remember that's different, not how much vitamin D, but what percent. Or you would look for the vitamin D percent of goal that you already calculated and then write it there. And then the rest, you would do the same thing. Okay, so you're using, again, the food diaries and the nutrient averages calculations you've already done, and you're going to answer the questions related to your micronutrient intake and your water. Thank you.